What's going on? Yo, it's me. It's Matt Duncan, host of Come Lose It. Welcome to Come Lose It. Episode 87. 1987, Lost Boys came out. What? I feel... when I say things like that, I feel like I'm... You know that caricature of somebody with autism in the movie I Am Sam? Well, you know, I'm just... I like the context of things, I guess. But we're back. I'm sorry about last episode with those terrible mics that I couldn't monitor when I was recording. I thought in my heart that they would be okay. And they were not. Listen to that tinny ass shit. That's not the professionalism we do here on the podcast. You know that. So we're back on the Shure. We're on the nice fucking Shure that I got for Christmas last year. A fucking $350 mic. Okay? It kills me. It almost makes you want to delete the episode. It sounds so horrible. But anyway, that has been returned. That shitty fucking thing has been put back. I've been doing returns and shit and having to be with customer service and all this shit. Like, it's been crazy. I've just been trying to buy printer ink for my printers from some website that has it cheaper. And I sent them somehow to my old address in Toronto. I have been afraid of this since I left the city over 3 years ago. I've made very sure not to do something like this, and it wasn't my fault. I paid for it with PayPal. I showed them the email that said that my shipping was confirmed to my new address, but for some reason it went to that old invoice address, and it just tears me up that they saw it. They had to think about me. Probably gave them a little bit of pain because it was a bit of a traumatic time for all of us. I don't know how their lives have changed. They had elderly people living in that house. Did they survive COVID? 50-50 maybe, I don't know. So after much, fighting with these people, I got the ink sent to me. I don't know what the hell's going to happen with that other ink. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it, man. But here we are, Halloween, just in a few days. Not really feeling in the Halloween groove like I usually do. I'm not watching all the scary movies. I'm not watching some of my old favorites. I'm watching all these other docs and weird dark shit on Netflix and Disney Plus. Sports are back. The Leafs are back. The Raptors are back. We're going to talk about some sports-related things in the other shit part of this show. Don't you worry, because I've got some things to say. But I will say for you health podcast listeners, you Americans that are just... I love that random Americans are finding this podcast because they're looking for anything. Does this podcast have the answers to weight loss? No. This is a pro fast food fitness podcast. I have almost 10 years into my goal that I was trying to hit, and we haven't been there. We haven't hit it yet. Okay, it's a slow pace. I saw a tweet today. Someone made it that saying that like 50 is middle-aged is false, because most people don't live to 100. They only live till 73, which would mean 36 is middle age, which I'm now almost 2 years older than. But it feels right that this is middle-aged. If I look at my whole life so far, all that context and time and memories, and I just double that, I think I'm okay. I'm okay with that being the halfway mark. Do I really need to wait another 12 years and then think of doubling that? Not on my watch. A lot of things going on, folks. Okay? The Plugmaster General, as you know, I have coined him here as Elon Musk has finally purchased Twitter. He didn't want to purchase Twitter. He tried to get out of it. They threatened him with legal action. He was forced to buy Twitter. So now he owns Twitter $44 billion later or so. Somewhere around there, 44 bill. What an idiot. Bought it way over market, and now he's going to open up the floodgates, bring back all the banned accounts. You should see some of the anti-Semitic things and hashtags and shit that are going on right now. They are ecstatic by the Plugmaster General. If he wants to help civilization and humanity and all these things, when are you going to give us your hair plug doctor? Now, I know you went to Turkey, Elon. Elon, I know you went to Turkey because that's where everybody goes for the hair transplant. But I want to know which guy is the one to go to because he did a nice job on you. And I know you're going back for touch-ups because this shit don't last forever. That implants don't last forever. It doesn't all of a sudden make your scalp a little bit healthier, juicier. I heard Gordon Ramsay's on that plug too. But you, Elon, you fraud, fake fuck, you are bad for the plug business and you won't share. You're a selfish little nookie nanny. You got to share your plug doctor with me because I'm going to need plugs one day. I bought clippers. I'm cutting my own fucking hair right now. I've been seeing all kinds of shit online. People that are shaving their heads. These poor guys that are going bald from the front and they're wearing these wig pieces and stuff. Young guys, and they're finally bicking their head and they're feeling better. They're looking younger. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to shave my head. Not bick it, but I was going to shave it. I was going to take her down to less than an inch. See what it's like with a buzz cut. I haven't had one since I was in grade 8. And sure enough, I chickened out. But as I was shaving the sides, I was like, you know what? This isn't looking so bad. I think I was doing an okay job. My wife said, well, the back needs a little bit of work. I said, that's not my problem. I can't see the back. So the back of my head probably looks a little fucked up. My wife's going to fix it for me. But I ain't paying $50 to get my hair cut. When it's never, I'm never walking out of there super happy. It's trimmed. I'm feeling a little cleaner. But I think all balding men should get a little bit of a discount. A pity discount is what they should get. Because, you know, it's only a matter of time. It's only a friggin' matter of time. So anyway, I got the new clipper. It's nice. It's got all the colorful heads, and I'm going to start cutting my own hair. I honestly think it's not a bad job. Not a bad job. Just needs a little cut here, a little, and then it's good. And then it's good. You know, we just had a municipal election across Ontario. You know what that means? Mayors were decided, councillors, and I don't want to talk much about it because we do have some years off of elections now. I won't have to think about elections again until I'm in my 40s. Ooh, gaga! So it's just sad to see that the voter turnout is very low. The mayor of Toronto, I mean, looking at the numbers here, I don't know. 1,500 people voted for the councillor in my ward in Newmarket. Congratulations, Trevor Morrison, who I thought was Tyler. I want my vote back. I voted for a Tyler, and you're a Trevor. Yeah, that's where local politics are at. That's where they're at right now. We're not meeting at the town hall anymore. We're not meeting at the church to see what the town needs. We're picking Trevors. We're picking Tylers. You know how it is. What else is going on? Halloween. Oh! I do love Halloween, you know, but I'm not feeling into it. Should I go out there? Could we do a poll? Could we do a world poll? If I should go out there and put the fucking lights up and the dumb fucking gravestones, and should I do it? Because I got a couple pumpkins. You know, if you're a fucking chipmunk or a squirrel, if you're listening to this podcast, you fucks, listen. I don't know what the hell's going on this year, but everyone's complaining their pumpkins are getting eaten by these fucks. And mine had like a head. First thing I thought of was Dahmer. Big fucking hole drilled inside of my pumpkin, everything missing inside. I got Dahmered. My pumpkin got Dahmered by a goddamn squirrel. So I thought I'd toss it out. I had to toss it out. It wasn't going to probably be rot. I can't have a drill hole in the back of its head. You know, I can't, you can't force me to scrape out. They took out most of the seeds. The thing's going to be dried up. It's going to be friggin' dried up. What am I supposed to do? So I went and bought another pumpkin to replace it. And I bought it at the self-checkout. And I think I clicked the wrong one. I paid for the more expensive pumpkin, a larger pumpkin, like the ones that a little child could sit on for a picture. And I paid like $2 more for a pumpkin than I should have. And it bothered me because if it was a mom and pop store or a side of the road family farm, then I would have been okay with giving them a couple extra bucks. But I'm giving that money to Longos. They don't need that shit. They're freezing prices here and there. Galen Wesson and these fucking Loblaws. The guy sucks. Oh, you're freezing the prices, eh? On all your no-name cheap shit. What if they go down, Galen? Because I think they're starting to go down a little bit. You froze them at the wrong time, you asshole. Speaking of Southern gentlemen, I'd like to send out an RIP to Leslie Jordan. You know him as a silly little queen, someone that's very proud and small and round. He's a strange little short, round, dumpy, lovely fellow, though. And it's unfortunate he's on a terrible show called Call Me Kat, one of the horrid sitcom choices that networks have made in this poor guy. This is what upsets me about it. Leslie Jordan was having some chest pains for a while. Reports came out a couple of weeks, so much so that he booked a cardiologist appointment. But this is the fucking problem when you get into your 60s, your mid-60s, and beyond. You get shortness of breath, you have to go to the hospital. You have to go to the hospital. This happened to my dad's friend last year. Shortness of breath Friday, dead Monday. So poor Leslie Jordan, he's probably all freaked out about, he doesn't want to stop the show from filming. It's probably very tense around there. The ratings are shit and it's not funny and everybody has to wave at the fucking camera at the end like an idiot. There's probably a little bit of tension there. And he's like, I don't want to take time off. I don't want to delay this anymore. Christ, if we delay it a week, it'll probably get canceled. So that's probably why he's like, I'll just wait for a cardiologist appointment. He should have went to the hospital. Instead, he had a heart attack in the car, crashed it, died. They're calling it a car accident, but he had a cardiac incident in his cab. Poor little Leslie. He's a little guy. Little guys are supposed to live forever. I really like him. It's funny if you go to his IMDb. I was shocked to see this, but it said known for. He's done a lot of stuff in his career. One of the things was the movie Jason Goes to Hell. Have you ever seen Jason Goes to Hell? I have. I own it on VHS, and it's a very weird departure from the franchise. It's not called like Jason 14 because it's technically not a part of that franchise. Did you know that? That's why it's just called Jason Goes to Hell. Should be Friday the 13th, right? I used to watch all those movies. I love the Friday the 13th movies. Tits in Camp. But Jason Goes to Hell was a little bit of a different breed. He gets set up by the cops right away, gets blown to bits by bullets, and he's getting shot so much that his body explodes into pieces. And his heart just kind of goes flying. And then the guy in the morgue is working on the bodies, talking into the tape recorder. I'm here with Jason Voorhees. Age unknown. Because he lives forever. And then the heart starts beating. Boom, boom, boom. What the fuck? That fucking giant heart, by the way. Jason Voorhees has heart disease. He has an enlarged heart. And he's not like a drummer or a runner where that should be okay. Like he doesn't run at all. He's just walking. Very enlarged heart on Jason Voorhees in that movie. I'll get to the Leslie Jordan part. Don't you fucking worry. So in the movie, the heart starts beating. Then the doctor starts to eat the heart. Pretty gross, looked like Hamburger Helper. And then Jason has possessed his body and he takes over and he's kind of swapping bodies for a while until I don't remember how, he just gets his old ski mask, mechanic suit body back. Can't remember why. Can't remember why, but I think it does end, and I'm going to spoil the end for you because I love crossovers. I love when Cheers actors come back on French. On French? At Frasier. French Frasier too. I'm sure that it's been translated. At the end of Jason Goes to Hell, the Freddy claw comes out of the ground and grabs his mask and pulls it down. To hell. I think it's from hell. I almost skipped over the best part. Leslie Jordan, one of the 4 things he's known for on IMDb. Jason Goes to Hell. He played a short order cook named Shelby. And I think Jason throws him like a football or something. I can't remember how Shelby dies, but I couldn't believe him. Like, this is what he's known for? This movie was like a B movie. Fucked up. It seemed weird to think that, does he have a following for Jason Goes to Hell playing the shorter cook Shelby? And then he gets like football punted out of the restaurant. I think it was something like that. No, it's coming back to me. He gets thrown on the stove or the deep fryer. He sizzles, baby. He sizzles. Now, I think that's what happens. He gets sizzled, and then he just gets like tossed off into a football shape, and Jason whips the motherfucker like so far. It's fucking crazy. He just goes out of sight and then like into the sky, and the little like, you know, when a star goes like weep, and it's just like that's what happened. Leslie Jordan, please watch Jason Goes to Hell if you're looking for a Halloween movie. If you're looking for a fucking Halloween movie, you're looking for a time to get a little bit of a chill, get a little camp, get a little tit, then you're gonna want to go to Jason Goes to Hell. Okay? But before any more people go to hell or heaven, they gotta have a birthday or two, am I right? Okay. Fucking heavy hitters today, folks. Matt Smith, another great Matt, is 40. He is in the House of the Dragon show, plays the incest uncle, who all his children that he creates a horrible birth. Some don't make it. Some just bleed. It's the grossest part of that show. Anyway, Matt Smith is 40. He's probably a Doctor Who or something. I've never seen the show. Julia Roberts is 55. Julie Roberts. Julie. 55 years old. I don't know I think it feels right. I think 55 feels right. I thought maybe she was a bit older because she's hanging around those old crusty balls, George Clooney, all the time. That guy's in his mid-60s for sure. 63, 65, I'm sure, but it's not his birthday, so we're going to move this party right along to Joaquin Phoenix, who's 48. 48 years old for Joaquin. Now, that seems weirdly young. Does that not seem fucking young to you? I feel like Joaquin should be a 56. I'd feel better about it if he was 56. Boy, he really reignited his career in his mid-30s. Like, what did he do 20 years ago? Was he like 28 when he did fucking Gladiator? He was like 28, 27? No! Fucking no! 22 years ago, he was 26! No! 26 on Gladiator. Oh, I can't get over it. Annie Potts is 70. Ghostbusters, what do you want? You remember that famous line? I did a tweet today about how Elon's gonna release the storage containment of all the ghosts now that he's at Twitter. Didn't do very well because he's already clamped down on any goddamn jokes about himself, I'm sure. Can't talk about Tesla and how their cars are on fire all the time. Jamie Gertz is 57. Now, you might know her from Lost Boys, 87, another connection to the 87 episode, 1987, The Lost Boys. She's also in the movie Twister. She's also a billionaire. Did you know that? She's married to a billionaire. They have some company. I don't know. It's like a licorice company or Ethernet cable company, something like that. Caitlyn Jenner, 73. Oh, you dusty old queef. Look at you. The worst trans alliance you could ever have is with Caitlyn Jenner, the worst person, a Republican, doesn't give a shit about what people are really going through that are trans, pretty horrible person, do not like Caitlyn Jenner, but a happy 73rd birthday to you, darling. Dennis Franz is 78. Remember Dennis Franz, NYPD Blue? Oh my God, what happened? He just hit both him and Caruso. After their last shows, they just said, that's enough. I've had it with Hollywood. Have you seen David Caruso around anywhere? I bet you haven't. Dennis Franz, David Caruso.
Fitness update.
All right. Fitness update. This is the part of the segment where I update my fitness, where I'm at, any health issues I got going on right now. You guys have heard about my back. Completely, it's been fucked up for a long time now. And now it's starting to feel like the back issue is chronic, unfortunately. But I'm going for physio. I'm learning that I don't know how to breathe at all. Not just like when people say that they need to like breathe deeper or something. No, I'm like backwards. It's like all my organs are mixed up and everything's a mess and I'm pushing out when I should be breathing in and it's a mess. I didn't realize how much of a mess it is, but it completely makes sense. I am so up high in my chest all the time. So I'm working on that. I'm doing these weird, I gotta do all kinds of shit like that. Lots of that. That's what I'm paying for, folks. And I get on these weird machines that it feels like nobody knows how to really use them. And everyone's just kind of pulling on levers and it's like, don't worry, it's working. It doesn't feel like it's working, but it's fucking working. Okay. So I'm doing the physio. Guys, I got back on the exercise bike. I took a break, as you know, because I've had this leg issue. The pain, the numbness. And I thought it was something to do with my quads just burning on fire from the exercise bike. They do say that these spin classes that kids love so much are horrible for you. And they don't do much for your cardio. Sad to hear, but I think it's the truth. But I do love it still. I love riding the spin bike. It's been nice to get back on it. Nice to get my 10K in per ride. And, you know, I'm up to almost 2,000. Where am I at? 2,000? Yeah, I'm at like almost 2,000, I think, something like that. I think I'm lying. No, I'm at like almost 1,200 kilometers in almost 2 years. It's pathetic. I know, but I've had some months where I was only averaging about 4 rides a month, once a week. For, I don't know, it's been a few months now of that. And then I took like a full month off. So I'm back in it. I've done 3 of the last 4 days on the bike. Still doing my walks, just not as aggressively. It's a beautiful time to go for a walk, folks. As I say, keep that walking. The walking is the best thing for you. But I will say my Apple Watch is shaming me a bit. It's saying that my like VO2 max is going down. And I'm like, what? Like I'm walking. How could it be getting worse? And the problem is that I'm not having enough high intense parts of the walk. So it's saying it's like, you're still doing okay, but you need more hills. So my heart rate's just kind of there's not a lot of differential in my heart rate. So it means that I'm getting worse. Jesus. There's just always something to fucking put you back in your place in this goddamn world. So I'm trying to, get more hills in, I guess. But I going on these trail walks, and it's not about that. I'm trying not to, it's about, there's more shit going on with these walks. It's getting me out of the house, whatever anxiety issues that I've had over the pandemic. It's really helped with that. I'm able to leave the house and not be panicked because I get a little panicked when I'm not safe in the nest, right? So that I'm going to ignore the VO2 max stuff for now. I will try and hit a couple more hills that I can, but I'm gonna be doing a lot more bike again because the bike is making me happier. It feels good to get off it when I'm done my workouts and stuff. It's just, I gotta get back into the weights and stuff now, but I also got to do all these all these physio. I hate doing the physio. Fucking workouts. It's just, I feel like an idiot, but I got to do it. I got to do it because I'll never be able to stop. It's expensive, even though I got my benefits. It's expensive, folks. So that's that. And this is this.
Health news. News that is health related.
All right. Health news. Here we go. We're going to talk about B vitamin. Vitamin B. How fucking good it is for your brain. Good it is for your body, how good it is for your soul. Listen to this Harvard nutritionist. Let's go through it. What is so good about the B's in the vitamin B's?
I'm Dr. Uma Naidu. I'm a nutritional psychiatrist, brain expert, and on the faculty at Harvard Medical School.
Okay, how do you increase your energy? What do I
So if
need?
you'd like to increase your energy, eating foods with vitamin B1 will really help you.
Vitamin B1.
It can be found in things like beans and lentils.
Vegans, did you hear that? Beans and lentils. Vitamin B1, okay?
Vitamin B2 can actually help you break down medications that you're taking. And it can be found in salmon, yogurt, and beans and lentils.
Okay. Beans, lentils, salmon, yogurt.
To
Okay.
help you reduce inflammation in your body, you really should eat foods containing vitamin
B3.
And these can be found in salmon,
God, fucking
yogurt,
salmon again.
as well as beans and lentils.
Beans and lentils, salmon. That's all I'm going to eat.
Vitamin B5 will support your overall brain health, and you can find it in black beans, chickpeas, and sunflower seeds.
Oh, fuck yeah. I eat hummus like I'm like
Vitamin B6 can actually lower the risk for many different cancers, and you can find it in leafy greens, salmon, as well as legumes like chickpeas.
salmon.
and
Salmon
black
for the
beans.
win. Salmon for the win. Vitamin B6.
Vitamin B7 is also called biotin, which you may know as a supplement, but you can actually get biotin in a single egg. And it actually helps cells communicate better, which makes it more efficient to help your brain feel healthier, sharper, and keep your mind focused.
All right, I love eggs, and I know an egg. Do you know an egg?
My favorite B vitamin is vitamin B9, which is folate, and it's really easy to eat this because it's in many forms of leafy green. Think about the lettuces that you like, or kale, or romaine lettuce, arugula, dandelion greens. Vitamin B9 actually is also associated when it is low with a low mood. So eating consistently your leafy green vegetables will actually help you balance out your mood and improve how you're feeling.
Feeling moody? Eat some kale.
Vitamin B12 actually helps your
favorite.
heart health, and it also keeps your mind sharp.
Heart.
It can be found in plain yogurt as well as salmon.
Oh, salmon again.
Now that we've heard there are 8 B vitamins that are really important for your brain, I have an easy way to help you remember them every day.
All right.
And that mnemonic is Big Yes. B, small I, G, Y-E-S-S.
Big yes.
The B is for beans. We've mentioned several types like edamame, black beans, and chickpeas.
You know what one of those S's
G
are going
is
to
for
be?
beans. My favorites are spinach, arugula, and romaine
greens.
lettuce.
Big.
Y is for plain yogurt.
Plain
Greek
yogurt.
has
Plain
extra
yogurt.
protein as well as
Get some of that Greek in there.
E is for 1 egg. F is for sunflower seeds. And the second S is for salmon.
Yes, salmon again. You're damn fucking right.
If
There's
you
salmon.
need to take a supplement,
Salmon,
speak to your doctor about that. But at the same time, remember, you can find them in all the foods that we just listed.
Salmon. 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 Okay. Did that Harvard nutritionist and myself, we work together and give you the goods on the vitamin B. Now, I do take a B12 vitamin B complex. I think it's a B12, a B6. I don't eat salmon that much, and I am sorry, but I cannot eat salmon that much. Gotta get sick of it, but I do. Now, listen to me when I say this. When I get the sushi, it's usually salmon. That's my fun. I like a spicy salmon. I also like a sushi pizza sometimes, which is also salmon. So, every once in a while, once every 2 weeks, once a month, eat the salmon. But I can't be eating this much salmon. Like, I can't be eating this much lentil. I can't be, it's like, if that's all you're eating. But if you're in a bit of a foul mood, crunch on some kale, okay? Crunch a little kale, pull it out of the garden. It's like eating wire when it's not cooked or thrown in anything. It's a real beast of a plant, I'll tell you that, kale. It's a real beast. The kale chips, everyone's making the kale chips. Just salty wire. Goddamn salty wire chips. Don't love. Don't love. We'll eat, but don't love. The last topic of the health news I want to talk about is something I read in I Fucking Love Science. Have you heard this? Have you heard of this site? IFL Science. And it caught my eye because we've been using this not a ton for other foods, mainly just for the old French fries. Very popular contraption now on the market, and I'm talking about air fryers. And are they actually healthier and more energy efficient? And as always with the health news, I will post in the show notes. Make sure that you also click the other links that I have there that just send you to a ridiculous image. It's part of the show, folks. You got to click on those things. So from what I gander, the studies have been quite short on the air fryer being better for your health, but it does seem like the early showings are out, and it is indeed a lot better for you because when you deep fry foods, it creates this chemical called acrylamide, and acrylamide is something that is apparently a big cancer causer. It's what makes that food nice and brown and tasty. That is acrylamide that is doing that. So it lowers the acrylamide. So there's still a little bit of acrylamide in the air fryer, but going from 80% to 20% or something like that. So better for you. And I guess if you just boil potatoes, you're not going to get any acrylamide there. But you just gotta mix it up a little bit. But I am sick of the deep fry, I'll tell you. Every time I order fries now with takeout or something, it just tastes like absolute shit. And it's like, if you're eating bad fries and you're putting that in your body, you're middle-aged, you're over 36, it just isn't worth it, is it, folks? It just friggin' isn't worth it. So it does seem like starchy food at high temperatures, if you can cook it a different way, convection oven is one of the ways, it'll be a lot better for you. Now, there was a small study that came out about the energy efficiency of these things. And obviously, if you're cooking chicken in an oven compared to a little ActiFry thing, it's going to use a lot less kilowatt per hour. And that's going to cost you a lot less hydro. So yeah, it does look like anytime you're using something, it's not a stove, a North American stove that is, then you're probably saving some money. But we only use it for potatoes because everything else is, doesn't really work as well. You know what I mean? We tried the wings. It was okay. It was wrong. There's a bunch of other shit going on right now. I do want to just say before he officially gets canceled, because it seems like I don't know how he is able to escape this, but Bill Murray keeps coming in the news. There's never anything good to say about him except when he shows up at your wedding or in a karaoke room unannounced. Those are the only stories that you ever hear. Like, he's this happy-go-lucky guy who just drifts around. But then if you're on set with him, he calls you a cunt and racial slurs, and he's absolutely misogynist and horrible. It's really tough because I don't think he appreciates this enough, but he was a bit of a hero of mine when I was a young boy, when he was on Ghostbusters, and I don't think ever in his life he thought he'd be a hero of anything. None of those Murray boys, I would say, are hero material, I would say, But, we got him. He doesn't have a Twitter account, but now that the Plugmaster General's in charge, and we're going to get like Alex Jones and Trump back tweeting and pontificating false information, it's going to be an exciting time. The unfortunate thing that I think about social media now, I've had lots of metaphors and whatnot you've heard on this podcast. I can't decide if I like, here's two I have for for Twitter. It's a gigantic public pool in the heat of summer, but it's also beautiful blue sky, but also somehow a tornado constantly. Same thing. It both exists at the same time. You're going to this gigantic public pool, and there's people lined up with their towels, and some of them are hilarious, and you're catching in some of their conversations, and you're having a little chuckle, and you're enjoying yourself, and there's a little bit of joy here and there. And then there's some people that kind of make you nervous, and you don't want to be around them. But then you look to the pool because you're ready to go in. It's a hot day with a tornado, and the shit all in the pool. The pool is constantly shit in. And people are enjoying. They're doing the whale blow with their mouth. The shit's coming out between their teeth. They're swimming underwater, and the shit just turds everywhere floating in this pool. And they can't drain this pool. Sometimes they try to. A little bit gets out, but they don't really change the water ever. So you just got to kind of get used to the shit constantly in this giant pool. And that's what Twitter is. It's just a giant, vast, infinite public pool full of turds with some joy on the side, people having fun, laying on their towels, getting burnt in the sunny tornado weather. Now, the other metaphor I had for Twitter was that it's a giant AA meeting, but instead of serving donuts and sugar cookies and coffee, there's just 5 infinite Texas Mickeys of booze. Okay? On the table. No coffee, no donuts. And you can pour whatever you want. And all these alcoholics are sitting around with their small little paper cup full of booze, and they keep going back, and they can never leave. And that is the addiction part of Twitter that we have, where if after all this Elon Musk shit goes through, and we'll see, we're all going to stick around a little bit. We're all going to stick around a little bit and see how it goes down. But if the people that stay there were lying to ourselves, saying that, like, well, I needed for this. I needed to stay informed with this. I needed to have a voice in this. But at the end of the day, you're just addicted. You're just fucking addicted like the rest of us. You don't fucking need it, but you fucking need it. You know what I mean? The last thing I'll say. Now, this really fucking pissed me off. Listen to this guy. Now, this directly relates. Remember how I said I was going to talk about sports at the end of this podcast? Do you remember how I fucking said that? This has to go to the fan basketball podcasts. And one guy who I guess is credentialed for the Golden State Warriors as a journalist is not happy with all these other sites. And he even attacks my network that I'm a part of.
It does. You and I talked about this. I can't remember if it was on the show or off the air, about how ridiculous it is that so many people get their information or are entertained by podcasts, by shows that feature people who have no connections, who have no background in the NBA. They're just like fans, but for some reason people love them.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that if, you know, those hosts, and look, I'm good friends with Bram Hillsman, who's the host of Warriors Huddle. He's a very close friend of mine. He would tell you he's just a fan of the team. He's not, you know, an insider. But the thing that I respect about his show is that he has, you know, experts on and all the time. And I do think that dynamic can be really good. But if a podcast is just a couple fans sitting around and pontificating, why should I listen to you? Because you don't know anything more than Joe Schmo walking down the street. You haven't, you haven't talked to anyone. You don't have any actual insight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And there's some networks out there like, I don't know, one called Blue Wire. And the problem is networks like that tarnish the image of all the other shows. And these teams take note of that. And it affects our damn access and credibility. So anyways, it blows my mind.
Okay, let me tell you about this guy's name. Cyrus Satsaz. Cyrus Satsaz. And he has a podcast on Locked On, which is a fucking network that is across North America, and they have different ones: Locked On Warriors, Locked On Raptors, Locked On Fantasy, Locked On Celtics. There's a million of them. So this is what he's a part of, and he's pissed. He's taking a shot at Blue Wire, which is what Raptors Republic is with. This gatekeeping shit is the most ridiculous crap. Now listen to me, Cyrus. This game would not be popular. They wouldn't be making as much money. There wouldn't be advertising dollars if it wasn't for the fans. And if the fans want to make anything, an entertaining piece of work, they have an interest in it, and you think that that is affecting your credentials to go and talk to media, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a guy who's, whatever this podcast is, doesn't even have 1,000 followers. And I don't like talking about all that shit, but I don't see where you come off doing this podcast. These two idiots don't even have mics. They're in their mom's living room or something. Looks like shit. Nothing's professional about it to me. But you're coming for us? You're coming for Blue Wire? Man, you're missing the point. You are missing the point. And yes, with sports podcasts, I do have a lot of qualms with it. I have a lot of issues. There's no shelf life. Everything needs to be current to whatever game is up next. And, you know, the credentialed stuff, people like the insider stuff. I get it. People want the trade breaks. They want to know the juice, right? And you're not going to get that from the fan podcasts. But you're going to get some nuanced answers. You might get a little, I don't know, comedy, some joy, stuff that maybe credentialed reporters aren't going to say because they don't want to risk their career. Make it a little fun. Come on. Cyrus. Who the fuck are you? I don't even know who you are. You're such a big credentialed guy. How come I don't know you, big journalist guy? You got a Nobel Prize? What do you got? Anyway, I'm done. Go to Raptors Republic. You can pay the paywall, read some articles, but you can get the podcast for free. Confederacy of Dunks will appear there. And that's pretty much it. We got number 87 in. Wife interrupted. Cut it out. Probably cut it out. I got 2 in this month, guys. I'll see you in November. Birthday month. Dear God. Plug Master General. Plug Master General. Got one pale body.